Hi, this is Dr. Lawrence, and what I want to talk to you today about is how to find your posture and how actually to look for it. So the reason why we're talking about posture, I have Lucinda here, my lovely assistant, and she's going to be talking. We're going to show you and demonstrate how you can actually check your own family's posture. Obviously, you can't check your own posture, but we can actually check your family member's posture. And one of the reasons why is because we have a national chiropractic campaign at the moment this week on posture, and there's different ways of your posture is being done every day. You're standing all day, you're sitting all day, and you're driving all day. So I'm going to thought I'd just do a couple of little things and little tidbits that you can actually easily check your families with. So this is how you're going to do it. Well, let me first explain to you why the posture is very important. Well, posture is very important is because the way you stand is going to dictate how you feel, right? When you feel, when you're actually slumped over like this, your energy is actually really low, and you get very tired very easily. Also, a couple of things too as well is when you stand up tall, you actually have more energy, and that's one of the reasons why posture is so important. But especially in kids though, posture can actually put a lot of strain on their growth. If you have a crooked spine, if the spine is actually curved, that's how the child's going to grow, especially in the age group between 10 and 18. That's during the growth phase. So if the curvature of the spine is there and it's noticeable, if it's picked up early, we can actually stop that from happening where the growth will start to grow in the curve. So you don't want a child start having curvatures and start growing into the one side. And there's a famous saying about as a twig is bent, so grows the tree. So as a twig is slightly bent, the tree will grow into that particular curve. What we want to do is pick these up as soon as possible when they're younger, so rather than trying to allow them to occur in adulthood, because once they hit about 18 to 21, once their bones are once they're fused into adult bones, chances of changing curvatures are very rare and actually much more difficult. So we want to try to change these as soon as possible. So I'm going to show you a couple of tricks you can do at home that you can and go through these with your own kids and with your own partners. So I'm going to turn facing away from you. The couple of things is the three areas that I usually like to check for is the base of the skull, the shoulder height, and the hip height. Okay, so first of all, I'm going to do the shoulder. So what you want to do here is I'm going to pull the the hair back, and what you want to do is you want to take two thumbs and we'll put it just below the. I'll show it on this. You want to basically just below, just behind the ear. There's the skull right around here. There's the skull bone that sticks out right about there. You probably see it better on my hairline. You can actually just put it right there. So what you want to do is take two thumbs and find those two spots. Get Lucinda to look straight forward, and basically you want to just stick your thumbs out like that. And because Lucinda's perfect here, obviously being her chiropractor, of course, has kept her in line, and especially in her head there. So what you want to do is see where the lining of where the thumbs are and making sure they're lining up. The second area you want to check for is the shoulder height, the height difference up here. Now sometimes it's a bit difficult to kind of check from the shoulder height from here. So often what I do is I check from the way the shoulder blade sits. So a good check here is to basically come down and actually find the blade of the shoulder blade at the bottom of it and actually measure it at that level. And you can see where my thumbs are, and actually the cinder's actually pretty good over here. Okay. So the third check, what you want to do is actually at the waist. So what you want to do is come down to the side here, and what you want to do is find where the top of the waistline is. And you find the bone, the hip bone there, and just above that is where the waistline is, and that's where the top of a good measurement on the left and right side. You can just stick your fingers in there and basically come out and just look back and see whether that's aligned or not. So that's the three ways of checking the front and the back, the back side of a person to see whether or not one side is tilted. So oftentimes we find kids, if it's one side tilted like this, you can see they might not realize that, but there's also a lot of compensation in regards to the neck and also the spine. So oftentimes, now the second check you want to see is actually from the side view. Let me get this in the look this way. Now from the side view, this is a very important check, especially in kids. Now, most people don't realize this, and if you want to check it on yourself, is get someone to take a picture from this angle, the side of you, so you can actually see what's actually happening. Oftentimes is that a child's neck right around here is actually sticking forward. So I'm going to get Lucinda to jet their head forward and looking out from there. And you actually end up having a hump here, a little bump there. And for a lot of people, they actually have this develop since when they were from childhood, and as they age, they start to develop this even worse, and sometimes it actually gets quite swollen. You get this right round and soft spot across here, which is obviously quite draining, and what happens, the muscles take a lot of time to try to lift that head up. So that's one trick you want to make sure you want to try to get to check. So what you're looking for here is that you want to see the ear levels where Lucinda's ears should be leveled across to her shoulder. Okay, shouldn't be in front of it. It should be around the shoulder width. So that's what you want to be looking for. You want to see, that's one pickup there for kids, especially because they're slouching forward all the time. Their ears are usually up in the front there. The second thing is you want to just see to make sure that they're not arching their backs like this. Oftentimes you see kids arching backs like that, and that has a strong arch, and that's not a good thing. Just on the topic of kids, what you'll find is that a lot of kids have these heavy school bags. And the problem with heavy school bags is that the heavy school bag sits right in the back here, and because they got to compensate, and they, these kids nowadays, they want to feel cool, so what they do is they leave these school bags out here rather than being tucked right to the back. What happens is that all the weight is now behind them, so in order to compensate, what they do is they push their round their shoulders forward, and they also jet their heads forward like this to compensate the weight that's here. And what that does, you can see what Lucinda's doing, it's going to put a lot of pressure on these shoulders and also the neck, and because there's the pressure behind the skull here, it's going to create massive amounts of headaches and tightness across the shoulders, and then they're going to compensate by doing this to shift their body weight, and this is a whole bunch of problems. Okay, that's good. So you can see now the posture is very important from the front view, from the back view. This is one of the reasons why you want to go check your children for this, and also adults as well, because you can definitely find them in adults. And any compensation that's there is going to create problems in the spine and could lead to things like arthritis or joint degeneration very quickly, and we want to catch those as soon as possible, especially in kids. We're not going to see degeneration in kids, but we want to see them that they don't have problems in the future. We can stop the problems when they're much younger. And before 18, the better. The younger the better, and the earlier we start. Now, because it's National Chiropractic Care Week, what we've decided to do is that if you don't know how to check this, or if you find something that there's something going on there, and you check your kids with some posture differences, what we do, why don't you just bring them in to see us? I'm happy to do it. We're doing Margaret and I is actually going to be doing a free posture check on the Saturday, May the 28th. And what we're doing is we're going to be actually doing a check between 10:30 and 12 o'clock. And at that time, what we're going to do is we're going to run through a whole bunch of people, we'll just do a quick screen of what we just done here, and actually find out exactly how we can best help you. If there's a problem, if we pick up certain problems, what we'll do is we'll actually find out how we can serve you, or we can actually recommend certain exercises and other stretches that may actually help them get their posture. So I hope that's a great tip. I hope that you actually get that and go home and try these. Do make sure the 3 spots underneath the skull, the shoulder height, and also the hip height. And remember, get them to turn to the side so that you can actually look at the side view, so that you can actually see whether the head's jetting forward or not, because that's going to determine how much pressure they actually have on their shoulders. Better yet, why don't you come down on Saturday from 10:30 to 12 o'clock, we're going to actually be doing those screenings ourselves. And on top of that, as a special bonus, Damien Christoph will be doing some tasting. So he has his own brands of cereal, so he's going to come out. And so anybody who comes out for the day, if you just want to have a taste of the cereals, he's going to do that for us. So I hope you got some value out of this today, and look forward to seeing you on Saturday. Take care.